Manchester United remain relentless in their pursuit of midfield reinforcements, with the club now being linked to a high-profile name from Spain. Reports emerging from the Iberian press suggest that Eduardo Camavinga, the dynamic French midfielder currently at Real Madrid, has surfaced as a potential target for the Red Devils. United's need for fresh legs in midfield has become increasingly apparent following the departure of Christian Eriksen. The experienced Dane, once instrumental in dictating the tempo at Old Trafford, left a void in the squad that has yet to be adequately filled. His exit has not only reduced United's pool of seasoned playmakers but also highlighted the fragility of their depth in central areas. The situation was further compounded by the decision to loan out promising youngster Toby Collier to West Bromwich Albion. Although the move is expected to accelerate his development with more regular minutes in the Championship, it inevitably means that United are now one midfielder lighter for the season ahead. Attention initially turned towards Brighton and Hove Albion's rising star, Carlos Baleba. The Cameroonian midfielder has been on the radar of several top European clubs after impressing with his composure, energy, and ability to shield the back line. Manchester United were no exception, identifying him as a player who could add steel and dynamism to their midfield unit. However, Brighton's notorious reputation for driving a hard bargain has once again become an obstacle. The Seagulls, who have mastered the art of player trading in recent years, are said to be demanding a staggering £120 million for Baleba. This astronomical figure has raised eyebrows, especially considering the player's relatively limited top-flight experience. The valuation has made United rethink their approach. Despite admiring Baleba's qualities, Old Trafford's hierarchy is unwilling to commit such a colossal outlay on a single player, particularly in a transfer market where fiscal prudence has become increasingly important. As a result, the club has begun to explore alternatives that could represent better value for money. It is within this context that Eduardo Camavinga's name has gained traction. Spanish outlet Fitches claims that Manchester United are keeping a close eye on the Frenchman's situation at the Bernabeu. For their part, Real Madrid are reportedly open to parting ways with the 21-year-old, should an acceptable offer be tabled. Los Blancos, traditionally cautious about their squad balance and financial sustainability, are thought to be considering player sales this summer to balance the books. Camavinga, despite his undoubted potential, has not always enjoyed the status of an undisputed starter under Carlo Ancelotti. This has fueled speculation that Madrid may be prepared to cash in. The figure being circulated in Spain is €80 million, a sum that would still represent a sizable investment but significantly less than Brighton's asking price for Baleba. Such a valuation, while hardly modest, might tempt United given Camavinga's pedigree, versatility, and experience at the highest level of European football. It is worth noting that Camavinga featured only 19 times in La Liga last season, a statistic that underlines his secondary role within the Madrid squad. Although his appearances were often impactful, he struggled to dislodge the likes of Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, and Federico Valverde in the pecking order. This limited involvement has inevitably led to questions about his long-term future in the Spanish capital. Nevertheless, the French international's overall contributions since arriving at Real Madrid should not be underestimated. Since making the switch from Rennes, Camavinga has amassed no fewer than 180 appearances across all competitions. His energy, tactical intelligence, and ability to operate both in defensive midfield and as a left-sided option have made him a valuable utility player for Ancelotti. What is particularly impressive is the sheer volume of silverware Camavinga has already collected in such a short space of time. At only 21 years of age, he boasts an enviable trophy cabinet, having lifted 11 major honours with Real Madrid. Among these triumphs are 2 Champions League titles, an achievement most players can only dream of. For Manchester United, the appeal lies not only in Camavinga's technical and physical qualities but also in the winning mentality he could bring to Old Trafford. The club has been striving to rediscover its place amongst Europe's elite, and adding a player accustomed to the highest standards could prove invaluable in raising the collective level of the squad. Of course, much will depend on negotiations between the two clubs and whether United are prepared to meet Madrid's asking price. The transfer saga surrounding Jadon Sancho has at last reached its conclusion. For several weeks, The 25-year-old winger had been heavily linked with a switch to AS Roma, with Italian media reporting that negotiations were at an advanced stage. However, that particular move has fallen through, leaving the England international to seek pastures new elsewhere. Now it has been confirmed that Sancho will continue his career in the Premier League, joining Aston Villa on loan from Manchester United. The news was first broken by renowned transfer insider Fabrizio Romano, who revealed that all parties involved, Sancho himself, Aston Villa, and Manchester United, have successfully reached a full agreement. The move represents something of a fresh start for the winger, whose time at Old Trafford has been blighted by inconsistency, strained relationships, and a general lack of rhythm. For Sancho, who was once regarded as one of England's brightest attacking prospects, the opportunity to relaunch his career in the Midlands could prove invaluable. Aston Villa, under the guidance of Unai Emery, have developed into one of the Premier League's most exciting sides, combining discipline with attacking flair. The Spaniard has revitalised Villa Park, restoring belief among supporters and transforming the club into genuine contenders for European places. Sancho's arrival will be seen as a statement addition, not merely in terms of squad depth but also as a signal of ambition. If he can rediscover his Dortmund form, the electrifying pace, the close control, and the cutting edge in the final third, he could become a crucial figure in Villa's continued rise. Romano confirmed the details via his official X account, stating, "Jadon Sancho to Aston Villa, here we go. Initial loan deal from Manchester United agreed, green light given, and the move is set to be finalised." According to him, the formalities will follow swiftly, allowing the winger to link up with his new teammates without delay. The deal underscores United's willingness to offload the player temporarily in order to reignite his career, while Villa take on a talent with much to prove but undeniable potential. This loan marks the third time Sancho has left United temporarily, having previously enjoyed stints with both Chelsea and Borussia Dortmund. Yet those spells brought mixed results. At Chelsea, he was offered a purchase option within the loan arrangement, but the West London club ultimately chose not to activate it, instead paying a compensation fee before returning the player to Old Trafford. His return to Dortmund, meanwhile, rekindled memories of his early brilliance, though the form was patchy and never truly sustained over the course of the campaign. Now, with another move sanctioned, Aston Villa becomes the latest stage for Sancho's attempt to silence the doubters. For a footballer who arrived at Manchester United with such high expectations, the road has been far from smooth. But at 25, he still has time on his side. With Emery's tactical nous, a vibrant Villa side, and the chance to play regular football at a high level, this could yet be the chapter in which Jadon Sancho rediscovers the verve and confidence that once made him one of the most sought-after talents in Europe. In many ways, Sancho's switch to Villa carries a distinctly British footballing narrative, the notion of a gifted yet wayward talent seeking redemption in a club renowned for its working-class roots, passionate fanbase, and proud history. For Villa supporters, accustomed to celebrating hard graft as much as flair, the prospect of welcoming a player of Sancho's pedigree blends tradition with modern ambition, embodying the timeless romance of English football where second chances often yield the most compelling stories.